Good morning. So this video will be about how to write recursive equations. So let's start with a sequence. So we'll start with an easy one, 5, 10, 15, and so on and so forth. So we can see that in this sequence, we are adding by 5, right? We are adding by 5. That means that my pattern, again, is just adding by 5. So I know that the next one would be 20. And because of that, because we're adding, this is an arithmetic sequence. Because we're adding by 5. Or we're adding 5. Okay. All right, so that's a few things we need to know when we're analyzing our sequence. Now, I want to write a recursive equation. So I need to write a recursive equation. Now, the recursive equation, it's easier once we write our sentence that corresponds to the arithmetic sequence. Remember, in the documents in the past, I gave you a sentence frame for arithmetic sequence. We're going to go ahead and write our sentence here. So the first term is, and we know it's 5, it's given, comma, and to find the next term, we add 5 to the previous term. So I kind of already know my sentence frame by memory, or my recursive statement by memory. The first term is 5. And to find the next term, we add 5 to the previous term. I already know it. Okay. So now this is going to help me with my recursive equation. So now, this part right here that says the first term is 5, the way I'm going to write it is the first term is 5. Okay, that's this part right here. The first term is 5. This is saying the first term is 5. If this had a 2, that would say the second term is 10. Okay, or if this had a 3, we would say there would be a 3 here. The third term is 15. So I would change it to 15. But again, if you have the first term, let's just use the first term. All right, and then that's not the only equation we need. We need the next one. We need to say n to find the next term, and the way we write it is n plus 1 is equal to, okay, so that is, and to find the next term, we add 5 to the previous term. So we add 5 to the previous term. And that's it. This is it for a recursive equation. In this case, for an arithmetic sequence. But what about if we have a geometric sequence? So again, let's go ahead and do a geometric sequence next. So let's say I have 3, 9, 27, and so on and so forth, right? So now we have a different sequence. This one is a geometric sequence because we're multiplying by 3. And so geometric sequence multiplying 3. Okay. All right. I meant to move it. Okay, and again, 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. That's what's happening. Okay, so again, to write my recursive equation, I need to write my sentence frame. So the first term is 3, and to find the next term, we multiply 3 to the previous term. Again, this is going to help us write down our recursive equation. Okay. So now let me write my recursive equation, and I'm gonna move a little bit down. So let me just get the pen. Okay, so the first term is 3. Let's go ahead and write that. The first term is 3. And to find my next term, this t of n plus 1, we say of when it has parentheses. So this t of n plus 1 means the next term. And then what are we doing to the previous term? We're multiplying 3. So I'm going to put times 3. And I'm multiplying that to the previous term. It says right here, to the previous term. So I'm going to represent my previous term right here. And I'm done with my recursive equation. Now, sometimes, like in Khan Academy or other books or in the future, you may see that instead of a T, they use an F. And then sometimes they switch out the letters inside as well. But it's pretty much the same thing. As long as you know how to write this recursive equation in this form, I'm going to be okay, at least for now. And then if I need to show you more ways to write it, then I will. But this is just the basic. The only thing that changes is whatever you're doing to the previous term. So in this case, we were adding 5. If we were adding 10, we would put a plus 10. If we were subtracting 2, I would put a minus 2. And same thing here. If I was dividing 3 instead of multiplying 3, I would put a division sign and a 3. This is just telling me what I'm doing to the previous term. And then you do have to tell me where to start. So you do have to tell me any number in the sequence. So again, I told you guys that we usually use the first term. All right.